Black women, they are doing the same thing to us that they did to black men 40 years ago, which is pushing us out of the workforce.
Black women can be the most educated demographic in the United States and still have the highest rate of unemployment amongst all workers.
Black women lost 106,000 jobs last month. Let that sink in. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the unemployment rate for black women jumped from 5.1% in March to 6.1% in April, the highest increase of any group.
106,000 black women lost their jobs in April. The most educated demographic in America. 106,000 of them lost their job in America.
Black women's job losses in America highlight the risks of misleading independence narratives.
So the same time women are being told, oh, you're impervious and you're strong, you don't need anybody. That message is going out is the same time they lost their jobs. A big, big portion of them. This, again, is what is so detrimental about this messaging. Because it's selling a lie that doesn't translate. And it's selling a fantasy that's actually leaving women really vulnerable. You put them in spaces when they're isolated, and then you fill them with ideas that not only can they do it by themselves, that they should do it by themselves, that they're impervious or they're beyond these other women who require upon community or family or men or whatever. They're above all of that. You put them in a situation where they can be spit up and chewed out. Because like I said, it's far beyond not just having a man. A lot of these ladies don't even have family. They don't have a sister they can get along with, a cousin, uncle, nobody. A lot of times that's celebrated. A lot of times it's celebrated. So that's what I think is so, what's the word? Insidious about this whole thing.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Thank you so much for clicking on this episode. I really do appreciate your love and support on this channel. So in April 2025, approximately 106,000 Black American women lost their jobs in the United States, marking the most significant job loss among all demographic groups that month. And people want to come here and tell us that systematic racism do not exist anymore. And still there are people that want to complain or argue that Black women are not the most educated demographic in the United States of America, which we all know that's the truth, but most of you don't want to admit to that. And yet they get to be the most demographic that has the massive job loss in the month of April after rollback on DEI and after the new administration and everything that's happening and all the policies that they're putting into place, making sure that Black people are not benefiting from anything. Can you imagine 106,000 women losing their jobs because they roll back on DEI? And the craziest part about this is that the number of white women, like their number of employment went up with a very huge percent. I want us to watch these videos together, guys. I'll come with the statistics at the end of the video. Every clip and every stitch that you'll be seeing on today's episode, credits belongs to the original creators of these videos that you're seeing on your screens. If you're coming across this channel for the first time, my good name is Gracie D. Kindly consider subscribing to this channel, give this video a like, and let me know what your thoughts are on the comment section. So let's just dive right ahead and we'll come back with more commentary.
Black women can be the most educated demographic in the United States and still have the highest rate of unemployment amongst all workers. The next time you think about the notion of working hard, always recognize that everybody's work is not valued the same, which is why Black women can be the most educated demographic and yet be the first demographic to hit unemployment. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics in April showed that Black women lost 106,000 jobs last month. To the people in the back, when you point out DEI benefited all these other different groups first and them trying to ban it and decriminalize it ain't got nothing to do with Black people, remember this statistic right here. The fact that Black people got anything from DEI was too much, and that's the reason why you see our community, our demographics being hit the biggest when it comes to defunding and defunding and criminalizing DEI. Y'all don't find it suspicious that the demographic that overwhelmingly voted against Donald Trump is now facing the most economic hardships under Donald Trump? manufactured, or coincidental.
I'm gonna say black fatigue so TikTok can push out this video because that's what's trending. But I want to talk about the unemployment rate within black women. Now, the month-over-month increase in unemployment rate is at 1%. However, that 1% is high. So we went from 5.1% to 6.1%. Now, the unemployment rate in white males also increased by 1%, but their unemployment rate is low. It's like in the threes or something like that. So let's talk. Do y'all think the U.S. is trying to wage a silent war against black women because they know if they was to say something and make it loud, we would combat it? But I think they're trying to do it silently. We are the strongest group of demographic people in the United States. Think about it. The Latin community, they voted against their own self-interest. I think even at a higher rate within each other, they are divided. White women are divided. White males are divided. Black males is not as strong as us in their numbers and how they vote. We have the strongest united front, and that's dangerous. And then we're also educated, and that's dangerous. So I think they're trying to silently knock us down because they are adding jobs at a higher rate than our unemployment rate. And they're not caring about us. They're not talking about black women is losing their jobs. Like black women lost 106,000 jobs in the month of April alone. And we are typically the head of household. They're not talking about it. I know we're on break, but this is something that we need to talk about. It's a lot of us. We all have a group think sometimes when it's in our best interest, and we're all educated. We can get together and let's figure this stuff out. Let's talk about it. Let's get this trending. I don't care what that white woman talking about. I don't care about her. Let's talk about this because we are taking care of these kids. When these kids are hungry, they're looking to us. When they need something, they are looking to us, mama. So let's talk about how we're going to get these black women their jobs back.
106,000 black women lost their jobs in April. The most educated demographic in America. 106,000 of them lost their job in America. The Librarian of Congress, she lost her job. I wonder why. Oh, it's because she's black. What the helly? What the helly? So this is a comment in response to me saying 106,000 black women lost their jobs in April. And it's really sad. And the Librarian of Congress also lost her job. And this is the response from a black man. This is the response from a black man. This is the response from a black man. Laugh out loud. Black women are not the most educated demographic in America. That title goes to Asian Americans. No, the fuck it does not. That title absolutely goes to black women in America. We are the most educated demographic. I don't know where you're getting your information. Probably Fox News. And the Librarian of Congress lost her job because guess what? She is not with the GOP. So just because somebody is not a Republican, that means they should lose their job. You think she lost her job because she's not with the GOP? Or is it because she's black and you're black? Who the fuck raised you? I hope it wasn't a black woman. Because if it was, I know she's embarrassed and ashamed by this comment. If she's not, she should be. You should really be ashamed of yourself as a black man. To laugh out loud because 106 black women lost their jobs. But when I look at your page, I understand why. And again, at your age, you should be embarrassed and ashamed. Before you leave comments like this, you should do a little research. Okay? This ain't that page. And shut your ass up.
Black women lost 106,000 jobs last month. Let that sink in. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the unemployment rate for black women jumped from 5.1% in March to 6.1% in April, the highest increase of any group. In contrast, the unemployment rate remained the same for white women at 3.3% and at 4.6% for Hispanic women. The decline in black women's employment occurred despite the overall national unemployment rate remaining at 4.2%. So while the economy added 177,000 jobs in April, black women were being pushed out from retail, hospitality, and especially government jobs. Economist William Michael Cunningham told Black Enterprise, "This is the direct result of anti-DEI and anti-black policies led by the Trump administration." Meanwhile, Andre Perry, a senior fellow at the Brookings Institution, says black women workers are being affected by the federal layoffs where black people are overrepresented, the impact of Trump's tariffs, especially on small businesses that hire black women, and the attack on DEI, which may contribute to a lack of hiring of black women. Concurrently, the overall black unemployment rate rose slightly last month to 6.3% from 6.2%. For black men, unemployment dropped to 5.6%.
In April 2025, black women experienced a significant job loss with over 100,000 women losing their jobs. This represents the most substantial job decline among all worker groups during that month. As reported by the Bureau of Labor Statistics in the USA, the unemployment rate for black women also increased, jumping from 5.1% to 6.1%. Here's a more detailed look. Job loss. Black women experienced a net loss of 106,000 jobs in April 2025. Unemployment rate. Their unemployment rate rose from 5.1% in March to 6.1% in April, the largest increase among all demographic groups. Overall employment. Despite their overall employment rate remaining stable at 4.2%, the decline in employment among black women stand out. Potential contribution factors. Some economists suggest that the rollback of diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, DEI, and potential reduction in federal jobs may be a contributing factors. Peace.
We are seeing a serious shift in the job market, and one group is feeling the impact more than most: black women. In just 1 month, 106,000 black women have lost their jobs, driving their unemployment rate from 5.1 to 6.1%. Compare that to the overall job market, where unemployment stays steady at 4.2%, and you can see a clear imbalance. So what's behind this? Well, there's a few key factors. First, federal job cuts. Black women hold a significant number of government jobs, and with recent reductions, they've been disproportionately affected. Second, DEI initiatives are shrinking. Many companies once committed to DEI programs are scaling back. This means fewer hiring opportunities and fewer support systems to retain black women in the workforce. Finally, industries like retail and hospitality are struggling. These fields employ a high number of black women, and when they suffer, so do job prospects. This isn't just about numbers, it's about financial security, household stability, and long-term economic mobility. And if this trend continues, it could have wide-reaching effects. Addressing the job losses affecting black women requires a multifaceted approach. Policy changes such as stronger workforce protections and the restoration of diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives can help create fair hiring practices and employment opportunities. Expanding federal job programs and ensuring black women have access to positions in growing industries can mitigate losses from government job cuts. Additionally, investing in sectors like retail and hospitality, where Black women are heavily employed, can stabilize job prospects, encouraging entrepreneurship by providing funding and resources for Black women to start their own businesses can open new paths to financial independence. Workforce training programs in high demand fields like technology and healthcare can also help Black women transition into more secure careers. Combining these efforts can work towards reversing the current trend and creating lasting job stability.
It's crazy that this happened, guys. The reason as to why I'm saying this is because overall US economy added 177,000 jobs in April, yet Black women experienced a substantial decline in employment of 106,000 when they had 177,000 jobs in April. I don't know what's happening here, but all we can say is due to systematic racism and what Black Americans have been facing. So Black Americans are experiencing disproportionate job losses, statistics disparity. While the US economy added jobs overall, in April 2025, Black women lost 106,000 jobs, highlighting unequal economic vulnerability. Contrast with other groups, no other demographic experienced job losses at this scale, suggesting a structural issue beyond typical market fluctuations. And this is actually telling us more about systematic racism, because even at what I looked, I'll put the chart for you guys to see that Black women are indeed the most educated demographic in the United States of America. Yes, with the population that there is of Black women, we also see that there is over-representation in low-wage and stable jobs. And you see that Black women are disproportionately represented in sectors like hospitality, retail, and caregiving fields hit hardest by layoffs. And it's sad because these are the most places that, Black women go to such places and they find Black women. It's more comfortable because we all know how it is out there. Also, another thing that Black women have been facing is systematic barriers to higher paying roles. Due to historical and ongoing discrimination in hiring and promotion, Black women are less likely to hold managerial or executive roles that are more insulated from job cuts. And even in some cases, you'll find that those that are really qualified, they do not get these positions. Just like I was doing another video the other day and I was talking about this man who said that they will not have a Black surgeon working on him. And the reason is because he thinks and believes that that Black surgeon is put there because of DEI with no qualifications. And it's crazy that these are the stereotypes that they are now trying to sell out there about the Black Americans. When they want something to attack Black people, they always use what Black people are going through to criminalize everything about them. So we've also seen the attack and the rollbacks on DEI and the political shifts and the dismantling of diversity, equity, and inclusion programs under the Trump administration directly impacted Black women who were often hired into these roles as part of corporate or government diversity initiatives. And this is why even most people are like telling you, don't vote for these, because we know what this new administration have. And if this is actually affecting Black women, do you think it's gonna take long before it catches up with all the other women in the United States of America? Like now, people are crying out here because life is getting hard each and every single day. The taxes are crazy each and every single day. And Black people are just telling you know what, we've been telling you this for ages. And this is why I keep on saying, when you're digging a hole for someone else, make sure that you dig too, because you might end up being in the same hole with that person that you're digging for. And this does not necessarily mean like digging a hole. This means that the problems that the Black Americans are facing right now and what they've been facing over the years are now catching up with everyone else. And now these massive layoffs of, jobs and Black American women losing job, what makes you think that in a few years to come, this will not be the case for those women who are not Black women in the United States of America, for Caucasian women? And this is why you have to be out there talking about this and supporting Black women. And this is why you have to be out there being against systematic racism, because it happens. We all know it's happening, but most we want to just keep quiet and not talk about it. What does this mean? This actually means that you're supporting this systematic racism when you're quiet about what's happening. When you're working in an office and you're always being promoted, whichever sector you are, you're always being promoted, and other Caucasian women are being promoted, but even those qualified black women that you're working with never get promotion. They're always in the same position, and you keep quiet, you don't talk about these. So this means that you're supporting, you benefiting from your white privilege, you're supporting the systematic racism, something that has been happening for ages, something has been happening for years. Black women have been complaining about this, black men have been complaining about this, but none of you listens. But you want to come out here and tell us that you're supporting black women, you support black people. You're not, if you're not going to call out those systematic racism that's still happening today. You're not, if you're still gonna sit there and wait to benefit from your white privilege while other black people are suffering out there, and you want to come out here and tell us that you support black people. No, we cannot believe that, because when you're quiet about something that's being done to someone, something illegal, something bad, that means you're in support, and you're as bad as that person who is doing that something bad. You're in support with that government that's there discriminating the black community in the United States of America. Structural unemployment, hiring discrimination. Studies have repeatedly shown that black women face discrimination in hiring even when qualifications are equal. And this is why you find, like, because of DEI, some black women would not get employed because they'll be like, no, they're here because they're not qualified enough just because of DEI, and we're not going to hire them. Or even find people mistreating black women at work because they think they're not there because of their qualifications, but they're there because of DEI, which is quite crazy and quite ignorant for someone to think that they may be in certain positions just because of DEI with no qualification. It never works like that. It never worked like that. You also find, like, bias in layoffs and rehiring. Black workers, particularly women, are often first to be laid off and last to be rehired during economic shifts, an indicator of systematic bias. And this is what's happening now, because you see, like, I have also a number of how many Caucasian women got to be employed in the same month of April, that same month that 106,000 black women lost their jobs. Inadequate policy protections, lack of tailored economic policy, economic recovery efforts often fail to address the specific challenges faced by black women who exist at intersection of racial and gender discrimination. Insufficient enforcement of anti-discrimination law. Regulatory agencies may lack the resources or political will to aggressively enforce workplace protections for marginalized groups. And they didn't even have this power to protect black people at the workforce. And now they roll back on even removing that little power that agencies might have been using to protect black women and black people at their workplaces. I even went on ahead and looked at how many Caucasian women lost their jobs in the month of April 2025. But as of March of 2025, the number of unemployed white women in the United States was approximately 2.199 million, reflecting a decrease of about 25,000 from Feb 2025, when the figure stood at 2.224 million. This indicates that unlike black women who experienced a significant job losses in April, white women saw a modest improvement in employment during that period. And it's quite crazy. The unemployment rate for white women remained relatively stable, with a seasonally adjusted rate of 3.3% in March 2025. I don't know why there had to be a very huge number of black women losing their jobs, and I'm not seeing many, like, white creators that are always out here defending white women talking about this. And the saddest part I saw about this is that in some videos that I took with the comments that I'll put for you guys, is that even some black men are, instead of supporting, and this is one thing I don't like about the black community in the United States of America, when something bad is happening to either a black man or black women in the United States of America, they're always like now the men are like on the comment section, like it's like they don't care, because they're saying black women told us we are nothing, they don't want anything to do with us. And you want to generalize what one woman or two or three or four or five I've said about black men and have that like include all the black women in the United States of America. So you see, this is the problem with the black community in the United States of America. Instead of uplifting someone when they are down, you always want to put them down more. I don't know why it's like that. And this is something that has to stop, because it's very hurting when, you know, we are talking of such things and you're seeing people in the comment section celebrating. You're seeing black men on the comment section celebrating that black women are losing their jobs. It's crazy, and I didn't expect to see this at all. Anyway, thank you to all the black men that are actually here creating awareness, like the ones you've seen on this video. And, you know, are not celebrating that black women are losing their jobs, because this is not the time to celebrate what's happening to black women. It's time for you to support them, just like they have supported you. Just like, you know, there is a lot that black women has supported black men with. Still, like there is a lot that the black men have supported the black women with. It's just time for you to work together without fighting each other. And this is why the enemy is always winning, because, you know, he knows the best way to separate you guys. He knows the best way of not keeping you together. Let me know what your thoughts are on the comment section. Thank you so much for watching up to this part, and until the next episode, bye.